Hello, I'm Eric Hanley.
And I'm Terry Lawson. We're automation specialists with ES&E.
In this video, we are going to review the features of the Stratix 5800 switch.
And we will demonstrate the express setup steps when configuring the 5800 for the first time.
Before we jump into our content, ES&E offers online training and information through YouTube.
Please like and subscribe to the ES&E TV YouTube channel for how-to applications and other automation content.
Rockwell Automation released the Stratix 5800 in March of 2022. The Stratix 5800 is the upgraded version of the Stratix 8000 expandable switch. The 5800 has two major variations, which are the fixed model and modular model. Fixed models provide a simpler and more cost-effective solution, but have more limitations compared to the modular models, such as NAT is not supported on the fixed model. Both models start with a 10-port base unit, where they have 2 SFP ports and 8 copper ports. All of the ports on the 5800 are gigabit rated, but you can add advanced ports as well as PoE ports based on the switch part number. Advanced features for the 5800 are parallel redundancy, device level ring, trust sec, and high availability seamless redundancy. In addition to the base unit, the modular models allow for a single expansion card which can have 8 or 16 ports. On the base unit, it comes with an SD card slot, redundant power ports, and a console port for direct programming.
The Stratix 5800 provides a more robust and more intuitive OS, as well as the fact it's based on the proven Cisco IT user switch interface, which makes configuration of the switch through the local web interface much easier. Some improvements include a new menu structure, faster navigation, customizable dashboard, and faster download for configuration changes. The new web user interface expands on previous generations' troubleshooting and debugging capabilities. Plus, it allows for a simpler direct interface to the command line interface, or CLI.
Additional features added to optimize the switch integration are the add-on profiles for the Rockwell controllers, as well as the network device library built for the switch that provides a pre-developed add-on instruction with associated HMI faceplates. With the AOP, configuration changes can be made from the Rockwell PAC, or it allows you to bring in basic diagnostic information for the PAC to monitor the network. Adding the AOI expands by bringing in all the information necessary to properly identify the switch issue and a graphical interface to easily see where the issue could be originating. The AOI establishes explicit messaging to the switch to ensure that it pulls not just the base level information provided by the AOP, but every bit of diagnostic information that can be provided, then seamlessly relays that information to the HMI for easy interpretation.
Now that we have reviewed some of the features of the switch, we will demonstrate how to do an express setup. The 5800 differs from all other Rockwell switches because it has 3 express setup modes. The Rockwell manual for the 5800 covers the short press mode, which allows you to set an initial IP address, then configure the switch via the web UI. The short press method requires holding the express setup button for 1 to 5 seconds. Which will cause the setup status LED indicator to flash green.
The next mode is the medium press mode, which uses a DHCP server to assign the switch an IP address. You can then configure additional network settings via the web UI or using Studio 5000 Logix Designer software. To enter the medium press mode, you need to hold the express setup button for 6 to 10 seconds. The Studio 5000 add-on profile for the Stratix 5800 allows for some basic switch configuration to be made on the switch. This is different because previously you could only upload and download the configuration from the controller. Now you can edit the settings while online, if necessary, as well as see network diagnostic information. Once the setup status LED starts flashing red, that is the indicator that you are in the medium press mode.
The last mode is the long press mode, which is actually a factory default reset of the switch. This can be achieved by pressing and holding the express setup button for 16 to 20 seconds. When you hit the proper time interval, the setup status LED will alternate between green and red. So during the whole process, you will see the setup LED start flashing green, then flashing red, then it will turn off. Then it will alternate between green and red. In the event that you hold the button longer than 20 seconds, the status LED will turn off and no express setup will be applied. All three modes will use the default username of admin and password of the switch. The most common mode will be the short press method, which will make the switch a DHCP server to start and give it a default IP address of 192.168.1.254. Also, the switch will assign the laptop an address of 192.168.1.1 as long as the laptop is set up for DHCP. If you have a static IP address assigned to the Ethernet port on the laptop, this will not work as intended since the switch is acting as a DHCP server. Now we will demonstrate the short press mode, then we will change the switch to have a static IP and change the IP from the default address. Once we have successfully made the change, we'll verify it has taken the configuration by cycling power and accessing the web UI from the new address, which will be 192.168.1.100. To start, we will have our switch powered up and we will press the express setup button for approximately 2 to 3 seconds, waiting until we see the setup LED flashing green. We will verify our laptop is set up for DHCP. Then we will plug our laptop into port 3 of the Stratix 5800. If we have completed the steps properly, the port will turn green and assign the IP address of 192.168.1.1 to our laptop. From here, we can now access the web UI by typing in the IP address of the switch, which is again 192.168.1.254. Now that we can get to the IP settings of the switch, we will change the settings to make the switch a static IP and assign the address of 192.168.1.100. Now that we have assigned that IP address, we will disconnect our laptop and cycle power to the switch. While the switch is rebooting, we will then change our laptop to have a static IP of 192.168.1.10. Once the switch has rebooted, which takes approximately 3 to 5 minutes, we'll plug into port 3 again and use the new IP address in our browser to see if the configuration has been stored. As we can see, the configuration did save and we could continue setting up our switch from here. But for this video, we will now demonstrate the long press express setup so that we can reset the changes we have made and return the switch to its original out-of-the-box configuration. To do that, we'll use our paperclip and hold the express setup button for approximately 17 to 18 seconds when we see the setup LED alternate between green and red. The long press method takes the longest compared to the other modes because it's working to clear all the configuration parameters and return the switch back to its original out-of-the-box state. That will complete our out-of-the-box setup on the 5800.
We thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please contact your local ES&E account manager or automation specialist.